Hey guys, I can't talk too loud because everyone else is asleep, but I thought I'd do my final weigh-in because Project Greenwing is in 2 days. Ready? Oh, whoa, sorry. 87, that's pretty good. Made you yawn. Cool, so that means, like at the start of finding out about Project Greenwing and deciding I should lose a little bit of weight because I gained 10 kilos during my wife's pregnancy, that means I've lost 8 kilos in about 7 or 6 weeks. I'm pretty happy with that. It's funny though, because before finding out about Project Greenwing, I wanted to lose that weight for like a year and nothing happened. I just didn't. So it just goes to show with the right specific motivation, which you'll find out about in due time. Anyways, as for today, I'm gonna get a couple of hours work in, and then we're heading off to Melbourne. I'm excited for a life experience today because we're, oh, Max, shut up. I need to go feed the cat. We're actually going to the Holocaust Museum in Melbourne. And I've never been, and I honestly think informing ourselves on those sorts of periods of history and the negative capabilities of humanity, and then also experiencing, emotional insight and moments like that is hugely important to the human experience. So I'm really looking forward to going through that, and also sharing that with my wife and son, and in time, helping my son understand the lessons that can be learned from horrible parts of history and periods of history like that. Anyways, so today's definitely going to be a different sort of day. Just shut down the computer. I did 2 or 3 hours work on the book. So yeah, better something than nothing. But yeah, we're about to head off to Melbourne now. I feel like such an idiot. My schedule is like stupid, and because of that, now that I'm like, sort of crunching to try and get as much done as possible, my head's all over the place, and I forgot to cancel the stream today. So the time came around that people were in Twitch, like sort of waiting for me to start. And thank you, Claymore Concepts, for popping in on Skype and being like, what should I say to the people waiting for you? So I had to do a mini stream. I just jumped on for like 20 minutes and said, sorry guys, can't do a proper stream, but here's what I'm working on. And then I sent them all over to watch Claymore Concept stream. So that sort of worked out okay in the end, but yeah.
I'm just doing his nose brow.
Okay.
The monobrow's mainly done.
Mrs. Jazzer is my cosmetic assistant. Ooh.
Didn't really work.
No, let's do it again. I have a very, very persistent monobrow.
Ah! That got it.
Oh, it's all sticky. It's so smooth.
For anybody who has this issue.
Sponsored by Essie Wax.
Just little wax. Boys, just little wax strips. You can do it yourself. You don't even need me.
Awesome. I'm gonna do my balls. This just came in the mail. I genuinely don't know what it is, but I know who it's from. This was sent to me from Tom Fulp, who is the owner of Newgrounds and co-founder or whatever of the Behemoth. I don't know actually what his official title is for the Behemoth, but anyways, he runs those things. And he's contributing something, I don't know what it is, to Project Greenwing. I genuinely don't know what's in here. I asked him for some stuff, and I guess he's surprising me. Hey, here we go. Okay, brilliant. This is the Behemoth chicken. And what do we got here? Hey, I got the pink knight. And I think there's a few other plushies in here too. Are you gonna help me with these? Look at that, another pink Castle Crasher. That's awesome. Oh, Tom, you're a legend. I'm really curious as to what people would guess Project Greenwing is. In fact, go ahead and guess, because so far all they've got is I've lost 8 kilos, I've got toys in the mail.
Keep going to meetings.
And I had my eyebrows waxed.
It could be unrelated.
Clues. Yeah, we could be throwing the scent. It might be such an important secret that we have to throw in there quick. Let's mail ourselves some toys, pretend it's from Tom, and say, this is for Project Greenwing.
Maybe you just felt like you were going to McDonald's to get your coffee. Your regular coffee guy would be let down if you arrived with your hair sticking out from the tree.
I do like to prep. I do like to, because he needs to feel appreciated. You know, we show up every day and we're being inconsiderate to be unkempt for our coffee man.
And besides, they were poking Mini Jazza in the eye.
My eyebrow hairs were poking him in the eye.
Yeah.
Wow. But like turn into like a sage, wise old man who like strokes.
just from between.
Just unibrow. Only just one long
tuft.
He's taking himself for a walk. He's biting his own leash or tail, I suppose you'd say. So we're actually at the Holocaust Museum, and we're just dropping off some documents while we're here, as well as, you know, visiting the museum. Because my wife's great aunt was actually a nurse who was one of the people who arrived when the concentration camp was liberated. And these are documents that are copies of her encounters, and then also documents that were sent to her by doctors who were part of the concentration camps themselves. So it's pretty special to be able to hand these on, but also, you know, an essential but what's the word? Sobering experience, I suppose you could say, to be here. And I'm looking forward to learning more about it, and you know, my wife's heritage and things like that. You know. Now I've actually attached the documents. These documents links are in the description, so if you actually want to read them, you can check them out, because they're pretty horrific, but well worth a read, just as far as understanding the sort of stuff that happened, and you know, it definitely makes you feel lucky to be living in the situation and the position and the, you know, with everything we have today, but also makes you very aware of the potential evil that can take place in the world too. I know it seems like a bit of a depressing vlog topic, you know, to go to the Holocaust Museum, but honestly, I think experiencing things like that and acknowledging the darker parts of humanity allows us to appreciate the best parts of humanity as well. I was lucky enough to actually be able to speak to a Holocaust survivor. He was in that first picture shown, his name was Frank, and he was very giving of his time. So I've just arrived to our Airbnb accommodation. I'm carting in the last of our luggage, and just sharing his experiences. And for an hour and a half, I just stood and listened to all the things he had to say, and it's just amazing and humbling. I've never felt the sort of reverence and humility that I've felt in a place like that. The gratitude it instills upon you to see the children that were murdered while you're holding your own, you know, definitely makes you hold your child tighter. And I think that sharing and talking about and learning from these sorts of things is one of the most important things that we can do to progress as a species, you know. Once again, if you get a chance, the link is in the description. Those papers that we donated to the museum, they are put together and passed on from my wife's great aunt, who was, as I said, a nurse who arrived at one of the concentration camps. And the account described the conditions that these poor people lived in, and the horrors that they witnessed and were exposed to are just mind-numbing and just beyond comprehension. And it happened in not too long ago a time. You know, my great-granddad fought in World War II. So these things, though they seem like sort of stories now, they're closer than we think, and they're more potentially real than people ever expect them to be. So definitely worth soaking it in and you know, learning what we can when we can. So a quick update on the London meetup. First of all, we're amazed and blown away and humbled. You guys are amazing. So thank you everyone who contributed, whether it was £1 or £20. Thank you. It's just been so wonderful to have your contribution. So far we've raised £360, which just takes us a long way to making this event happen. And at this stage, it's going to happen. We're booking a venue. We don't know if we'll get it, but we have our eyes set on one we really like, so fingers crossed. And if you have a couple of quid lying around and you want to help us get across the finish line, that would be amazing. The link is still in the description. But to everyone who's donated so far, thank you so much. Your help and generosity has just been amazing. Question of the day comes from oh, look at that underglow. I feel like I'm under a campfire telling a story of haunted tales. Question of the day comes from Simon, who says, do you wish to keep making projects like this if it's profitable? In editing this video, I realized I neglected to mention he was referring to the Tale Teller, the animation that I'm working on that I vlogged about yesterday. That's a difficult one in terms of clarifying profitability. Yes, I love making them, and yes, I hope to make future animations, but they're very difficult to financially justify, to be completely honest. There is a rough estimate out there that I heard an animator friend of mine put out in a recent video, where he said he would estimate 1 month of time to create 1 minute of animation, and that has held true for this Tale Teller, which is an 8-minute animation, and it has taken about 8 months to get where it is so far. So when you think about paying full-time wages or even part-time wages for that amount, it's very expensive, and you don't make anywhere near that when you put it out. So to actually financially justify it, you either need external funding, which we had help with, Screen Australia and Google. There was a grant that they put together which contributed money to help us make the animation, or you need to either front the money yourself or do it for free. They're the ways to do it, and who knows where the future's going to take us. I know I love it, and I hope to make future content, so you know, who knows. But that's the harsh reality of animated content, and that's why a lot of animators on YouTube struggle to make animated content these days without external funding sort of coming in. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today. I know today has been a bit all over the place, to say the least, but I appreciate you watching and joining, and it's been a good day. So I'll see you later.